boy, how you doing? It's Alfie Malone here with the big juicy quiz. What is it? It's our third one now. So everybody should have the hang of it. All you need is a bit of paper and a pen, and then you can join in. We've got 5 rounds for you. All lots of different stuff for you tonight. Some of your favourites are back, including our tune Alfie, which we're saving till last, just to protect the neighbours. So, if everybody's ready and comfortable, I will be reading all the questions twice, then I will be recapping them just like I usually do. And after all 5 rounds, that's when I give you the answers. Now, if you need them on a bit of paper, you can go to the website cheermeup.co.uk/quiz, and you can get all the questions there. cheermeup.co.uk, and that's where you can re-watch all of the quizzes if you have a good time tonight and this is your first one. You can watch our previous ones and see how you do on those. Remember, there is no cheating, there is no conferring, there is no canoodling, and there is no excuse this week not to get a brilliant score, I think you will find. My hair has grown, as you may have noticed, because it's lockdown, and I think I might need a trim. Anyway, round 1, as always, is your bits and pieces round, or if you're watching in black and white, general knowledge. 10 questions in every round. Here we go. Question 1. What animal is given to an older woman who pursues younger men? What animal name is given to an older woman who pursues younger men? Mrs. Smith is not a valid answer. What animal name is given to an older woman who pursues younger men? See, told you we'd start it off a bit easy this week. Get you all in the swing of it. Question 2. What's the pop star James Todd Smith better known as? What's the real name of the pop star James Todd Smith? Write down your answer, and at the end you can see how well you did. Don't put the speaker next to Siri, because she won't understand my accent. Okay, question 3. The second series of which British comedy featured a deadly epidemic of nosebleeds? Which BBC comedy in its second series featured an epidemic of nosebleeds? I thought it would be topical, you see. Question 4. Which movie had the theme, "This is the Self-Preservation Society"? Which movie had the theme, "This is the Self-Preservation Society"? Question 5. The pirate Edward Teach was better known by what nickname? The pirate Edward Teach was better known by what nickname? Always worth a guess, always worth a guess. Question 7. Who narrated Thomas the Tank Engine? Who narrated Thomas the Tank Engine? Question 8. The ship, the Black Pig, belonged to who? The ship, the Black Pig, belonged to whom? See, they wrote that correctly. Whom? I'll give you a little clue. It's not a real person. You don't give too much away. Next question. What was the first Disney movie to gross over 1 billion? Sorry, I'll read that again. What was the first non-Disney animation to gross over 1 billion? Silly me, I got that wrong. So it's not Disney, but it is an animation, and it made over $1 billion. And it came out in 2015. That might help. And what was the sequel to Alice in Wonderland called? What was the sequel to Alice in Wonderland called? And Trevor Bayliss invented which wind-up device? Trevor Bayliss invented what wind-up device? Very clever man. But what did he invent? Those are your first 10 questions on the quiz this week. I will go through them all, but first I'll give you a little bit of thinking time. Right then, let's just go through them again in case anybody was a bit late to the party, as they say. Question 1. What animal name is given to an older woman who pursues younger men? Ooh, missus. Question 2. What's the pop star James Todd Smith better known as? Question 3. Which second series of which British comedy featured a deadly epidemic of nosebleeds? That is not easy to say. Question 4. Which movie had the theme "This is the Self-Preservation Society"? Question 5. The pirate Edward Teach was better known by what nickname? Question 6. Who narrated Thomas the Tank Engine? Question 7. The Black Pig, the ship, I might add, belonged to whom? Question 8. What was the first non-Disney animation to gross over $1 billion? Question 9. What was the sequel to Alice in Wonderland called? And top of the shop, Trevor Bayliss invented what kind of wind-up device? Is question 10. Those be your first 10 questions on the big juicy quiz tonight. Don't forget, it's always worth a guess. Always worth a guess. If you're ready, then we'll move swiftly on to round 2. Round 2 this week is called Where Did I Hear That? And I will give you some lines from some movies that are very famous, and all you need to do is to write down the movie. Alright, just the name of the movie is what we're after. You'll soon get the hang of it. So, where did I hear that? Roads. Where we're going, we don't need no roads. What's the movie? And I'm going to be a real stickler on this one. You must get it correct. Exactly. Roads. Where we're going, we don't need roads. Yeah. You've all got the right idea, I'm sure, but which one? Question 2. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Question 3. Here's Johnny. I'm not trying to give anything away by doing the impression, so I shall just say, here's Johnny. What's the name of the movie where you heard that? Number 4 on Where Did I Hear That? I feel the need for speed. I feel the need for speed. Number 5. Easy one, I reckon. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Who said that? Or rather, what film? In fact, they're both the same answer, so it wouldn't matter. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Unless you've got peanut allergy. It's like a game of Russian roulette then. Where did you hear this one then? There can only be one. I'll get it exactly right. There can only be one. A little bit harder. One what? There can only be one. Name the film. Your next one is You Talking to Me? Question mark. You talking to me? Where did you hear that? What's the name of the film? If you've been watching the other quizzes we've done, we have mentioned that film before. There's a little clue. Next one, every man dies, but not every man lives. Every man dies, but not every man lives. Which film did you hear that in? And this one comes from a song in a film, but I won't sing it because I'm saving my voice for the last round. Plus, anybody who's seen any of the previous quizzes will know what my singing voice is like. But imagine it's sung. If it's your chance to be, we should see. Ooh, it's tough when you don't sing it. If it's your chance to be, we should see. Very famous musical film. But where did you hear that? Where did you hear this? Throw me the idol. There's no time to argue. It's been on the telly box recently. Throw me the idol. There's no time to argue. Write down the name of the film, and if you're correct, you'll score 1 point. So those are your 10 movies. Here is a little bit of thinking time to help you think. So I know what you've been asking yourself for the past 3 minutes. Where did I hear that? Well, let's run through them again, just in case you've got some gaps. Number 1. Roads, where we're going we don't need roads. Number 2. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Number 3. Here's Johnny. Number 4. I feel the need for speed. Number 5. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Number 6. There can only be one. Number 7. You talking to me. Number 8. Every man dies, but not every man lives. Number 9, and remember it's sung, if it's your chance to be, we should see. And at the top, number 10, throw me the idol, there is no time to argue. Those are your 10 lines from films. I hope you did very well. As we move on to round 3, and round 3 this week is Who Dis? It was so popular last week, we're doing it again. I will show you 10 logos from 10 famous brands, and all you need to do is write down the name of the brand. Okay, so the product or the company, the brand whose logo you could see. 10 of these for you. Number 1 is this one. Where have you seen this? Who dis? As we say in the trendy world of quizzing. Who dis? Who dis? Number 2. Number 2, so it's not so obvious, I've chopped it up a bit so you can only see a little bit here. But who dis? Give me a quick chance to say hello to everybody who watches this on the rerun from different parts of the world. Hope you're enjoying it. Do let us know, because if you let us know, we'll keep on doing them. Number 3, who dis? Oh, that's a tricky one, I reckon. A little bit harder. So where have you seen number 4 before? Who dis? Number 5 looks a bit like this. One of those ones that you see all the time. Can you remember where you've seen it? Who dis? And your next one looks a bit like this. This is a bit like catchphrase, just say what you see. And think of a brand that would go with it. Oh, there's your next one. Who dis? Where have you seen that? This one, I think, will catch a few people out. Your next logo looks a bit like this. Again, I have chopped up a little bit so you can't see the brand name, but I think there's enough there for you to work out who that is. If I'm wrong in my intuition, I shall grab my coat, he said, vaguely disguising a clue. Number 9 looks like this. Now, again, I think this is going to get a lot of wrong answers. I just got this inkling. That people are going to get the wrong one. We've all seen it, but where have we seen it? And number 10 is this one. Now, where have you seen that? And more importantly, who dis? So you have 10 logos there that you should have written down names for. I'll give you a little bit of thinking time so you can rack those brains. Right then, a little bit of thinking time. Let's run through them again for you, just in case you've got any gaps. Don't forget, it's always worth a guess, always worth a guess. Number 1 was this little chap. Number 2 looked a bit like this. Remember, I have chopped this one a little bit to make it harder. Number 3 looked like this. I reckon that might be the hardest one. Number 4 is this one. Number 5 was this one. Number 6 looked a bit like that. And number 7 was this one. Number 8 was that one. That's a contender for a hard one, I reckon. Number 9 was this little chap with a very big clue behind him. And right at the top, number 10 was this one. But most importantly, the question you need to answer is who dis? Right, let's move on. We've had bits and pieces, we've had names from films, we've had some logos, and now, back by popular demand, what dis? Alright, last time it was called What's in My Pocket, but some of these items don't fit in my pocket. So we've called it What Dis? And basically I have got my little camera and I've taken some pictures right up close to stuff. You got to work out what it is. Or as I like to say, what dis? So, what dis? Thought I'd start off with a relatively easy one. And then we'll move on to the next one, which looks like this. I reckon that's a fairly easy one too. Remember, you don't need to give a brand, that was the last round. This is just, what is it? It's something that most people during lockdown have seen a lot more of, I might add. Number 3. What dis? I can even make it bigger for you. There you go. What is that? Your next one looks like this. Have a good look, see what you think. What does that look like? And more importantly, if you see any in the shops, can you get some for me? Alright, here's your next one. What do you reckon that is? I reckon that one's fairly straightforward as well. But this one is not so easy. You will need to get up close for this one. Have a good look. And tell me what this. Bit of a tricky one, that one, wasn't it? What about this one? Now this one could get mistaken for other things, I reckon. Have a good look. Tell me what you think it is. Alright, I'll grant you that one, it is not easy. And this one's even harder still. So have a good look and think, where have I seen that before? If you've done any DIYing during lockdown, that might have helped you with that one. And your next big close-up picture is this one. And again, I reckon this is going to catch a few people out because it looks like something completely different this close. I will give you one little clue. This is not a vegetable or a fruit. So if it's not either of those, what is it? Remember, it's right up close. And how about this one? This one, again, really, really close. If you zoomed out, what would you see? And again, trying to be helpful, you wouldn't find it on a car or on a bicycle. So there were 10 things right up close. Hopefully you wrote down 10 things. I'll give you a little recap, but first I'll give you a little time to have a little think. So if you just joined us, where you been? We've been here since 8 o'clock. That's why it says 8 o'clock start. We are asking you what this in this round. And we've got 10 objects for you. And all you have to do is work out what they are. They've been taken right zoomed in. So your first one is this one. What is it? Your second one is this one. What is it? Number 3 looks a bit like this. And this is number 4. All fairly straightforward up till now, I reckon. But then I did take the pictures, so I do know what they are. Number 5 is this one. Then we start getting a bit crueler. Number 6. Number 7. Worth a guess, worth a guess. Number 8 is this one. Number 9. I wonder how many people will get number 9. And number 10 is this one. Those are your 10 very close pictures. And hopefully you've got 10 of them written down. And we move into our final round for tonight. So cotton wool buds at the ready, because Out of Tune Alfie is on its way. Yes, Out of Tune Alfie, if it's your first time playing, means I will attempt to sing 10 lines from songs, and you have to write down what you think the song is. Now, to save any confusion, you get 1 point for the song and 1 point for the artist, which means the whole quiz this week is out of 60. Okay? In case I am very much out of tune, and let's be fair, the odds are pretty good, the words will also appear in the little box. So here we go. I hope I can remember the tune, not that it'll make a blind bit of difference to any of it. Number 1. People always told me, be careful what you do. It's your first song lyric, I know, it's hard to believe. People always told me, be careful what you do. I do have to practice all week to be this bad. Now, I had an email flooded in saying I should give you longer on all of these so you can sing the whole song to yourself. wouldn't be much of a quiz, would it? So I'll give it to you one last time, and that's your lot. People always told me, be careful what you do. That's number one. Number two, she crazy like a fool. I'll give it to you again if you've recovered. She crazy like a fool. Number three sounds a bit like this. Well, it doesn't, but this is how I'm going to sing it. You could tell by the way I use my walk. That's probably the most out of tune you'll ever get, I have to say. You could tell by the way I use my walk. Quite some distance from any melody, I think that was, but it's the best you're going to get. Number four. No wedding Saturday within the month of June. Any idea? I mean, I know what song it is and I'm finding it hard. No wedding Saturday within the month of June. That's really out of tune. I've excelled myself, I think. I'm trying to give you a clue. Let me see what I can do. Let's think. How about this? A little clue. Yes. Right, next one. I'm working up to it. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Here's your next one. So take your good times and your laughter too. That's a bit easier, isn't it? So take your good times and your laughter too. I mean, let's be fair, if I could sing, I'd be doing that Gary Barlow thing, but instead I'm doing a quiz every Wednesday. So take your good times and your laughter too. Here's one. Let's see how we go on with this. They passed me by, all of those great romances. 1 point for the song, 1 point for the artiste. They passed me by, all of those great romances. And here's your next one. If they move too quick, away, oh, falling down like a domino. I mean, that's pretty bad. If they move too quick, oh, away, oh, falling down like a domino. What's the song and who sung it like? You're next out tune, Alfie. She got it. Yeah, baby, she got it. That's possibly the most in tune of any of them. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Which doesn't say much for the others, I grant you. And my favourite for the night, so I've saved it till last. In my imagination there is no complication. What's the song and who's the singer? In my imagination there is no complication. Those are your 10 song lyrics. I will have a quick swig of water and we'll do them all again in a second. Right then, so how are we getting on? I'll run through them again just once to save the poor neighbours, but number 1, people always told me be careful what you do. Number 2, she's crazy like a fool. Number 3, you can tell by the way I use my walk. Number 4, no wedding Saturday within the month of June. Number 5, tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Number 6, so take your good times and your laughter too. Number 7, they passed me by. All of those great romances. Number 8. If they move too quick, way falling down like a domino. Number 9. She got it. Yeah, baby, she got it. Number 10. In my imagination there is no complication. So 10 song lyrics, and if you've written down the name of the song and the artist, that should mean you have 60 answers in front of you from this week's quiz. Have a quick look, and if you've got any gaps, write something down quick as little guests. I would say I'll sing a little song while we wait, but I wouldn't do that to you. So, are you ready for your answers, everybody? Jolly good, because here they come for this week's big juicy quiz. Round 1, bits and pieces or general knowledge as it's known in the trade. Question 1. What animal name is given to an older woman who pursues younger men? The answer being a cougar. A cougar. Question 2. What's the pop star James Todd Smith better known as? Well, that is the real name of LL Cool J. Did you get it? The second series of which British comedy featured a deadly epidemic of nosebleeds? That's The League of Gentlemen. The movie that had the Self-Preservation Society as its theme tune is The Italian Job. And the pirate, Edward Teach, was better known as Blackbeard. Thomas the Tank Engine, there's two answers you can have for this. They both are correct. Ringo Starr is one, and Richard Starkey, which is Ringo Starr's real name, is the other. So Thomas the Tank Engine was narrated by Ringo Starr. Beep beep, Thomas. The ship The Black Pig belonged to whom? And I gave you a clue, it's not a real person. The answer being the fantastic Captain Pugwash. A TV show that has spawned more urban myths than many, I'm sure. The first non-Disney animation to gross over $1 billion in 2015 was those lovely little Minions. Did you guess that one? Did you get it right? The sequel to Alice in Wonderland, Alice Through the Looking Glass. So if you put Through the Looking Glass or Alice Through the Looking Glass, they be correct. And Trevor Bayliss invented the wind-up radio. So those were your first 10 answers. Have a look back through and see how many ticks you've got. Write that down. That will make adding up a lot easier. If you got more than 7, well done. If you got less than 7, must try harder, as they say. You probably did better at the movies. We had 10 movies for you. I gave you the lines and you have to remember where you heard it. So, Roads, where we're going, we don't need roads, was from Back to the Future. If you wrote Back to the Future 2, it's wrong. Oh no, it's technically right, but it was first heard in Back to the Future, right at the end of the first film. Number 2, Frankly My Dear, I Don't Give a Damn, was a little bit before Back to the Future. That was Gone with the Wind. A situation I find myself in quite a lot. Number 3, Here's Johnny. That comes from The Shining. I Feel the Need for Speed. Well, that comes from a film whose sequel comes out this year at some stage when we can all go back out into the real world. That is Top Gun. Yep, can you believe it? Top Gun 2 is coming out sometime. Mama always said life was like a box of chocolates. Nice, easy one for you. The answer being Forrest Gump. There can only be one. Where did that come from? I reckon this one's a little bit harder. That's Highlander. Did you get it? What about You Talking to Me? Well, very famous. Taxi Driver. Every man dies, but not every man lives, was the line. And the film it came from was Braveheart. And this one was sung. If it's your chance to be, we should see. Now, if I tell you the song is from Oliver, can you remember it? Did you get it? Tough one. Throw me the idol, there's no time to argue. It's almost a rhyme, but it's from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Of course it is. So those are your 10 lines from films. How did you do? Have a look at the ticks. Add them all up. And we moved on to Who Dis for round 3. So, some brand logos. You had to work out what the brand was. The first one, I've seen a lot of these myself recently. They are Pringles. The second one is the very top bit of a very famous sporting logo, because that is Adidas. Your third one, I reckon, was the trickiest. There is a little clue in that picture. It's Yamaha. Next one, Monster. That's the Monster logo from those cans of that stuff that makes your eyes go like mine. The next one was one we see an awful lot, but did you remember where you've seen it? It's Wikipedia. And then we had this one, another sporty one. That one's Puma. Now this one, did it catch you out or not? Because that is the logo for Spotify. And then we had this one. I reckon this is the tricky one. It's the North Face. I tried to give you a little clue. And then the little man with a pen behind him. What did you put? What did you put? Shall I put you out of your misery? Yes, it's Bic. Oh, how many people wrote Biro? Come on, own up. And then the last one, flying high at number 10. Because it's Lufthansa. Although I guess that depends on when you're watching this. That could be that was Lufthansa. We shall just have to wait and see. Okay, round 4. Round 4 was those big close-up pictures that I took with my little camera. So, what is this? Did you work out that that first one was a highlighter pen? Highlighter, anything like that, if you've written it down, it's correct. Your second one was this. It's really, really close up of a bar of chocolate. I reckon that was an easy one. The next one was this. Now, it could be a number of things depending on how close the camera was, but it was indeed a piece of Swiss cheese. Cheese will do, cheese will do. And then we had this one. In its dry form, this is spaghetti. I hope no one overcomplicated that one for themselves. Next one, yep, that is indeed a close-up of a paper clip. And then we had this one now. I reckon this one's a tricky one. Did you guess? I hope you did. It is right up close to a tomato. I can hear groans and I can hear cheers from the neighbours. How did you get on with this one? Now, I reckon this looks like a pudding, but it's nothing like a pudding. It's a cigarette, lit cigarette. And in this one, very tricky indeed. I will be quite lenient. It's an adjustable spanner, so if you put adjustable spanner, if you put spanner, if you put wrench, spanner, something like that, that's the correct answer. Now, this one I did warn you was going to catch a lot of people out because it looks like a red pepper, but it's not a red pepper at all. So I told you it wasn't going to be a fruit or a vegetable, but that is a massive, great close-up of one of these. It's a bottle of Coke. It's the lid. And then this one looks like it's something majorly industrial, or it looks like it's come out of the kitchen. Nope, none of those things. It is a real big close-up right at the top of my guitar. That's where it is. Right up there. Right, so have a look and see how many you got in that round out of the 10. Remember, they're pictures, so I'm quite lenient. You know whether you got the right idea or not, and if you did, give yourself a point. And then we came on to me singing rather badly out of tune 10 lyrics from songs. And let's see if I manage to put you all off with my singing like I usually do. Out of tune, Alfie, there's 2 points on offer for every question. 1 point for the song and 1 point for the artist. So, people always told me, be careful what you do. Don't go around breaking young girls' hearts. It's Michael Jackson, Billie Jean. Sounds like I'm doing the charts. She's crazy like a fool. That's Boney M and Daddy Cool. Number 3. You can tell by the way I use my walk, I'm a woman's man, no time to talk. That's the Bee Gees, Staying Alive. Number 4, no wedding Saturday within the month of June. It doesn't get any better. It's Stevie Wonder, I Just Called to Say I Love You, which is sweet. The next one, tell me that your sweet love hasn't died. Did you get it? I reckon that could be tricky with the way I sing it. Always on my mind, Elvis Presley. If you put the Pet Shop Boys, you can have it as well. I know there are lots of versions of the same song. So take your good times and your laughter too. That came from Celebration by Kool and the Gang. 1 point for the song, 1 point for the artiste. They passed me by, all of those great romances. Now, I always find this group really gets people with the lyrics because they think they've heard it and then they can never work out what song. It was ABBA. But which song? It was One of Us. And then, if they move too quick, they're falling down like a domino. Because they're walking like an Egyptian, you see? That's the Bangles. Walk like an Egyptian. She's got it. Yeah, baby, she's got it. Did you get it? Bananarama, Venus. Now, again, Venus has been sung by a few different people, so you know if you've got an artist that sang it. And if you did, and it's correct, you get 2 points. 1 for the artist, 1 for the song. And then we had my favourite of the night. In my imagination, there is no complication. And you don't know how true that is. That is the lovely Kylie Minogue, and I should be so lucky. Which is what I tend to say whenever I see Kylie Minogue. those are your answers for the quiz this week. I hope you did well. Add them all up and stick your score on the old Facebook or on the comments on the YouTube or wherever it is you're watching this, so other people can see how you did. And then why not challenge your friends, because the quiz will be online the whole time so people can watch it again and again. And if you don't tell them the answers, they can compete against you. I'm Alfie Malone, and I will see you next Wednesday. But don't forget, it's Dress Up Friday this Friday. So if you are working from home and you're on the old webby cam, make sure you dig out the fancy dress, dress up, and you can tell all your friends it's Dress Up Friday. And if you go to chimyot.co.uk, you can send us all your pictures and they'll be up on the web very soon. Have a good week, everybody. I will see you very soon.